this computer. All right, we got to do it in one take.
Fine by me.
We're good.
Fine. Welcome back. Episode 25 of Process Preparation Performance. I'm Duke Keith Simmons. We're incredibly grateful and thankful. We're at the quarter century mark, JR. Still waiting for that elusive first sponsor. If that's going to happen, I don't know. But things are going crazy. Social media is blowing up. Twitter, Facebook, that Twittergram Snapbook stuff, all that stuff's going crazy. New recommendations in Missouri for you don't have to go to school, but you could still do an activity. All this stuff is hitting. My phone is blowing up with text messages, as is yours, I'm sure. But we got to talk about these things because this really is important. I saw something today, and I'm just going to pull it up here because footballscoop.com, we're going to give them a shameless plug. Very, 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 very prominent website for news and stuff, all things, football from high school through the pros. Power 5 conferences moving towards canceling the season came out tonight. That's the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, ACC, and Pac-12. If those guys cannot protect the players, how do we do it in high school? So that's the first question, JR. I'm asking you, how do we protect the high school kid?
I don't know. It's the only experience I can go on, at least from having done anything during all this mess, is we did play summer baseball. And to my knowledge, nobody tested positive for anything. It is a different type of sport, but I think everybody's just erring on the side of caution right now. Which, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, is 1 year really going to make a difference? In everybody's natural lives? Probably not. So I don't know. I still think the it's very fluid. It's ever changing. And I think if you do see the Power 5 conferences say, we're not doing this, I don't know how anybody's going to be able to do it, just because there's the precedent has been set. And so far it's been, a little bit of piecemeal. I've seen some things to where people are like, okay, so COVID doesn't get caught in the SEC, but it is in the MAC, and you got a lot of guys opting out. Even at the college level and the pro level. And I think everybody's just waiting for the one big precedent. And obviously if the SEC shuts down, that's a pretty big statement. And then at that point, right. I think you're probably going to see the trickle down effect of it, unfortunately. But, 1 year in a lifetime, everybody can get by with it without for a year. So
there are so many layers to this, right? Because the SEC and everybody eliminated their non-con opponents, right?
Right.
Let's look at Kent State. Kent State was scheduled to play like 3 top 10s or something, of which they were going to make somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 to $5 million, which was going to totally fund their athletic department. Those are gone. Those are gone. Let's talk about Mizzou. Mizzou can only play conference, so they added Alabama and LSU to the.
Whoever did that did me a favor.
Yeah, they added them in. So you got a new head coach. I know Coach Drink is probably loving it. He's like, yeah, bring it on. But it's all this fluidity that you're talking about. And then we have the county, like just a county just up the road from us, who I'm going to read you the report. Under the modified orders, crowds at sporting events are still limited to 50% of the venue's capacity or 100 people, whichever is fewer.
Okay.
But you can have somebody sign a waiver if you want.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What is going on?
Me and you've talked about it a lot. There's no perfect answer to any of this, and I kind of see why people are putting the things in place that they're doing. But I was down in Baton Rouge last week for a week, and which, by the way, LSU Stadium that's massive. That's like the 8th wonder of the world. And they got a tiger out front, for crying out loud, and about a $5 million enclosure. But
oh my goodness,
it's just it's amazing, down there. And in Louisiana, there's very strict rules on if you walk into anywhere, you have to have a mask on, and people just, everybody just adapts to what you got to do. And I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand. I mean, half of the summer baseball season, we didn't have fans, and then when we
Yeah.
finally did, we had to kind of put them in some certain areas and whatnot. But I get it. It's just, it is what it is right now. And what was interesting, um, was I was read something today. I don't follow basketball really well, but even like LeBron James said, he's starting to get used to playing in an empty
Empty place.
arena because it's just so different. I love watching the baseball stuff right now because you can hear everything, and those guys, I'm sure, have toned the language down a little bit. And
Yeah.
I watched the Blues lose again today. They're doing great, and you can hear so much when one of those pucks hit the post. It's just different.
Right. It is different.
So it's just
Well,
different.
think about this. The MLB has more money than God, right? And you got dudes getting testing positive. Whether they snuck out or did whatever, I don't know. I have no idea, but they're testing positive. Marlins got it. St. Louis Cardinals got it. The NBA, you're in a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in, nobody out, right? I don't know if they slide the food under your door or how they do that. I have no idea. But there's nothing there, right? It's just like being
Right.
a kid and just playing. Misha this week, the Missouri one, came out and they kind of changed their viewpoint and they said, okay, for schools going virtually, you could still participate in an activity,
Right.
whether that's football, volleyball, softball, FFA, band, whatever that is. You could still participate. Not sure how I feel about that. The focus in my mind, it's student athlete. If you've automatically said that it's okay to do the extracurricular over the curricular, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure how I process that. That's me. That's my own viewpoint. Um, but I'm looking at this going, the trickle down effect is so huge. But I have an idea. I have my own plan. This came up to me. We're going to put it out there somewhere on social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. We'll find something. But here's my plan, JR. No school until January. You will go to school from January through June. Winter sports will start in January and will go January to February. Fall sports will go March and April. We're fortunate we still have some nicer, decent weather in March and April. Spring sports will be May, June. People are going to go, well, how are you going to do that in football? That's only 8 weeks. What are you going to do? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to condense it down. You're going to play 5 games. Next, in your district, 5 through 8, dude, you get 1 game and you're done. 1 through 4, you're going to play district semi, district championship. That's your next week. Whoever makes it out, you only have a few teams that may overlap into the next one. Here's why I think this works. I was talking to Tom Henke about 5-6 years ago, whatever, right? Said, Tom, what do you think about all this? High school teams, you coach baseball, JR. How many high school baseball games would you play in the summer?
When we
In a
went all the
spring?
way, we
Yeah.
played 32,
Do you know how many Tom Henke played his senior year?
probably about
12.
17. Yeah.
12. He played 12 games. 12 games. You know what it does? It says, we're still having it. We're just going to modify it a little bit. You get a few games. You jump into the playoffs. You might get 8 games out of your season, but you get something. Because at this point, the level of overall positivity about how long we're going to be in school, I'll tell you, a local pediatrician said 2 to 3 weeks, and you're
Yeah.
going to be out because we won't be able to control it. Not that kids are going to get super sick and die, right? God forbid that happen. But the teacher, the food service worker, any other faculty or non-certified staff, pick somebody, the bus driver, pick them. They're not comfortable either.
Right.
So why not wait until we get through flu season? Go get your flu shot, people. Go get it. I don't care how you feel about it. Go get it. From a doctor to you, go get your damn flu shot. January through June, you'll have like a little spring break. You might get a Friday off for teacher readiness or preparedness or whatever you guys call it. You'll still get almost all the days. Then you get July and August off. And you know what we do? We reset this calendar and you don't start school again until after Labor Day, like I did when I was younger, and I ain't that old,
Likewise. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you can restart this because everybody will get time off. Football then will get May, June, July, August. You could start in September, or end of August. So you get at least 4 months. You can recover. You'll be okay. You'll be
You
okay.
know, I'll disagree with you.
Go ahead. Do
No
it. I
shock.
want to hear it.
Because to me, here's kind of the thing, and I get it. In a lot of places, and this is mostly a football podcast. I mean, for the most part, probably the people that listen to this are football people for the most part. But spring sports this past year, it didn't get to happen. So you know what? It ain't gonna bother me if football don't happen, because to me, it there's a group of kids that didn't get a chance to play. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can penalize them twice. I mean, I see your idea in theory, but you got to, it's just there's no good answer. There is no good answer, and unfortunately,
We
you
talked
know,
about this, right? We talked about
yeah,
this because we said nobody wants to make a decision because they don't want to be the
right.
person who made the decision, right?
And
Yet you
you
should have
know,
made a decision.
me and you got a bunch of guys that we know down in St. Louis that was going to get very affected by the
Mm-hmm.
virtual piece, and some of those guys, and they know who they are, those kids need to be around those guys
Mm-hmm.
somehow, some way, shape, or fashion. And, but I understand the other side of it too, to where it's student athlete, it's not athlete student,
Right.
but, the whole, to me, just my opinion, this is a good chance to reset school, because I think it
Yeah.
begs the question of how much do they really need to be in school, and what is really important that they really need to know, and so there's some opportunities here. Whether people will actually take the full advantage of it, I don't know. I mean, I did the online stuff here this summer, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm taking classes now to do some stuff, and it's all online, and I'd rather do that than go sit in a classroom. It's just, but yeah, there's just no good answer right now. So to me, if the fall sports get canceled, the fall sports get canceled. If winter gets canceled, winter gets canceled. I think, just in my mind, my personal opinion, for the 2 cents that's worth, I'd just wait on all this till next spring and just really ramp up to say, all right, spring sports, we're gonna do everything possible to make sure you guys have your season this year.
Mm-hmm.
And if that comes at the expense of a fall winter who had a season last year, so be it. Yeah, to me, just because I've been through both sides of the equation with
Sure.
it.
Sure.
So,
Oh, I see
but
that.
yeah,
I see that
it's gonna be
totally.
tough. It's gonna be
From
tough.
a coach standpoint, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
Now more than ever, you need to tell people your focus is on getting your education because so many people right now are not going to focus on that. And
Hmm.
some kids, let's be honest, they need some schoolwork. Okay. As a father who has a kid who has a dream and aspiration to do something, I'm blessed. He has some film from sophomore, junior year. I'm
Right.
blessed. He has that. He's got some interest, and I'm super proud of him, right? There are some kids that were going to get a shot that would not, which would then turn them away because as well as I do, some college dudes are going to be like, I can't take a shot on this kid.
Right.
I just don't know. His grades are suspect, and I don't have a lot of film on. I don't have hardly any film, if any, on him. So what do I do? I don't know where it's going to go. I know I'm talking to my wife tonight about, hey, you want the kids to eat lunch at school? You want them to ride the bus? I'm like, no, you're going to have to take them to school. You're going to have to pick them up, which is going to affect my personal business because she works in my office, right? But
Yeah.
it's something you have to do. Nope,
Sure.
you're taking your lunch, son. So here I am. I'm going to go stock up on all this stuff. But I was telling somebody yesterday, I want to go get my liquor license. That's what I want to do, because liquor sales at the local stores were up like 10 to 15 G a week.
Yeah.
And, you know,
The other part that's interesting, for those that are watching the video, they can see my shirt, which says ride your
ride
bike,
your
but
bike. Yeah.
you can't find bicycles anywhere.
You
Like
can't.
there
Yeah.
is, I
You
went and
cannot.
talked to our local guy here in town, which, if anybody from around here is listening, just go down to Red Wheel, talk to Nick, he'll hook you up. But,
Right.
yeah,
First sponsor. Pick
hey,
him
I'm
up.
telling you, we need
Call him.
to,
Call him.
and so he was telling me, I said, when do you think this is going to get back to normal? And he said, we're probably looking at March, April of next year before we have the stock, that was in. And I mean, we
Right.
just when we were coming home from Baton Rouge, go figure with us, we just end up in Jonesboro, Arkansas at a
Bike
bike
shop.
shop and buy a really nice bike, which it's awesome, but you can't find stuff anywhere right now. And kind of like you're saying, the liquor, they said liquor stuff was up really good. There's two of the other things I can't remember where they said the sales are through the roof, and it's just because people are
Yeah.
home. I mean, 4th of July looked like for
Oh
lack of a
yeah.
better way to put it, looked like downtown Baghdad here, for crying out loud,
Yeah.
because
Right.
all these
Right.
people are out exploding all these IEDs they've been building in the basement since March. They're like, well, you can't go downtown because it's unsafe, but everybody just shoot off whatever you got in the basement at the
Right.
moment.
Right.
But it's been an interesting few months, which I was shocked when I told you it's episode 25. I
25.
mean, we started back in March and it was the two of us, and we've come a long way. We'll probably get 5 plays on this when they figure out it's just me and you talking. So
Probably, but that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. What I've enjoyed is the friendships we've created, the relationships with other coaches, the invitations to come to Missouri, to go to Canada, to go to California, to
yeah,
go to Colorado, and the education that we've received, not just in football, but in, the word that you don't like, which is culture, right? That word you don't
that
like.
started debate.
Right. We could have that sometime.
Yeah,
Um, but now the interesting thing is we have people asking if they can come on the podcast,
yeah,
which that's very humbling. It's very flattering to us, right? Because listen, we didn't know, I'm not going to cuss here, but we didn't know anything about what to do with a podcast, right?
no,
It was just get on and talk. Now we should tell people that we are going to try and blow this clinic out
yeah,
come next year
that's the plan.
with some people, not just football, baseball,
Yeah.
and try and just roll. Now, the kink in that is this: a lot of states will be playing in the spring.
That's true.
A lot of colleges will be playing, so we won't be able to get out and roll.
That's
We
true.
won't be able to do that, right? Um, but we'll figure out a way. We'll think about
Yeah.
something. We'll come up with a way to do it. Uh, I get a lot of questions lately about what are you guys going to do if? What
Mhm.
happens when if? What happens here? And I think your phrase that I one of the phrases I like the most is, what are we doing? Right. I think to answer that question, we all need to step back and say, we need to take care of the kids. We need to take care of the players. If that means that during football season, we get we get stopped 2 or 3 weeks in, you know what? Still feed them on Thursdays or whatever days
Oh
you're going to
yeah.
feed them. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Right. Be smart about what you do. But remember, your primary role of a coach is to advance the life of someone else in some way, shape, or form in a positive manner when it doesn't involve you. So don't stop doing those things. You know, I don't know where COVID is going. I have no idea. I know I'm an essential worker in the office, although I'd like to retire soon. That's not going to happen. You have used it to its fullest, man. How many miles have you all
Yeah.
ridden on your bike?
So
How many
tonight,
miles?
after tonight, when I rode tonight, I'm at 840. I'll go over
And that's
1,000 in about 10 days.
yeah. In what time span?
I started basically, I think it was May the 30th.
There you go.
So I'm
And your
averaging.
wife is the same way.
She's at 700. She's only not rode with me a couple times, and I went over 40 both times.
Yeah.
So it's it's been good just because I haven't had time to do that forever.
Right.
So it
Right. Probably feel better than you ever have.
lost weight. I mean, not that I was
Yeah.
totally out of shape, but I mean, for crying
Right.
out loud, I'm down to a weight that I can really ride fast. So we're
There you
averaging,
go.
we can roll at 18, 19 miles an hour for an extended 30, 45 minutes down that Katy Trail like it's nothing. I mean,
There you go.
it's unbelievable. So I'm gonna have to jump
So
in a century ride this fall and do a 100-mile ride that they do around the state. I'm gonna jump in and
nothing
do it.
wrong with that.
So it's been
It's a
good.
beautiful thing, man. Yeah, you've
I'm
used it to your advantage.
Yeah, and I tell you, I'm surprised when this all started back in March, we're actually still dealing with it. That kind of surprises me in a way. I guess I figured that everybody'd get a handle on it, and eventually it wouldn't be such an issue by now because it seems so far away in March. I mean that was 5, 6 months ago, and here we are.
Right.
So, but
Well,
yeah,
look at St. Louis. Look at St. Louis, the Metro Catholic Conference. I think that's what it's called, or something like
yeah,
that.
MCC, yeah,
Uh, they came out and said, we are suspending or return to play. Right.
yep,
Now, JR, I'm Catholic, and I could
right,
tell you that thought process is not something that's unique to St. Louis. Okay. Catholic Church, it means universal. I could tell you, I don't know this for a fact. Nobody has said this to me, but that ripple effect or that pressure is probably being extended outside of St. Louis. Go to St. Charles, go to St. Peter's, go down south, come to Jeff,
hmm,
Southwest Missouri. I can tell you that's probably being extended, right? And you have some really good teams in that conference. Who's in there?
oh yeah.
CBC, DeSmet,
Yeah, you got
Vianney.
Vianney's in there, Chaminade's in there, Slew's in there. I mean, that's the big boys. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the
there's
big
some
boys.
really good teams in there,
Yeah,
and they made a decision.
yeah.
Kudos to them. I did hear one thing that was really smart, and I want to get your take on it.
Okay.
I was sitting at free physical night the other night to get the athletes taken care of, and the cross country coach had just a brilliant statement. He goes, I bet what's going to happen is you're going to lose enough teams that you don't have 6 classes in football anymore. You only have 5 in Missouri. And I thought, you know what? That's brilliant. Because so many schools were expecting when JC and Cap City split
Sure.
that we might slide down. Guess what? If he's right, which he could be, we'll still be right there at the top.
Oh, you'd be there at the top regardless here for a little bit. I mean, well, I think we all know that. It's just
Yeah.
how the numbers are working out and whatnot. But I mean, it's a good point. I know they're going to restructure baseball to have another class, just because there's so many teams, and you got to I mean, me and you've talked before. When you get in that 3 to 5 class
Yeah.
range, you got such a wide disparity on it that you need to make it a little more equal. But yeah, who knows? I mean, I think what you just said, you may get 2 or 3 weeks in, and that's probably going to be the end of it. But good point on the clinic, though,
Yeah.
because for crying out loud, I mean, I don't know how Glazier and some of these other people that do clinics are going to be able to do this, just because everybody crams them into like January, February, March,
Right.
because nobody's playing. Well, now half the country's playing.
Half the country's playing.
So
Right.
we're going to have to get creative. Maybe we can live stream it or something.
We'll figure something out.
We'll get some dudes on here. We'll get some dudes.
So I'm going to ask you a very pointed question because you've been an educator for a long time, and I appreciate that. Here it comes. Would you send your kids back to school, or would you choose the virtual option? Now
Well,
let's premise this. You don't have any children.
None that I know
But
of.
yeah, none that you know of. Maybe that one night. No, just kidding.
We don't need to go there.
Yeah, right. So I'm only asking from an educator standpoint, and you could say, you know what, Bill, I'm not going to answer,
Well,
and I'm
I'll put
okay
it
with that.
this way, because my brother was just up here. They live down in Texas. Both my brothers, U.S. Border Patrol agents, and he has 4 kids, and they are not sending them back. So they're just gonna wait it out till about January, and then figure it out. As far as my personal opinion, I don't know what I'd do, just because I don't have kids. I think I think our district has done a decent job of giving options,
Hmm.
to where you can do all virtual, you can do a hybrid, or, you can do in seat, whether that's going to be like the pediatrician said, 2 to 3 weeks, or we'll be fine. I don't know. But I think just everybody, whatever they feel comfortable with is fine. I know there's a lot of people out there who say this, just a lot of this stuff, it's ridiculous, whatever. And there's others who are very scared of it, and it's just like, I don't care which way you feel, just do what you think's best. So I know I got to show up. I'm going
Yeah.
to be there, and I ordered a really nice mask from the McLaren F1 team. So that's like F1 quality, man. It's
Nice.
nice. I like that thing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
So my current senior, or
Hmm.
he's going to be a senior, came to me, and he's a well thought kid. He must get that from his mother. I don't know, but he's like, if they cancel the season, can I just hold back a year?
Oh my gosh.
He's like,
Now,
can I wait? Can I wait? He goes, I can. I won't be too old to play
no, he wouldn't.
at any point. I can have this year to get bigger, faster, stronger. Should I do that?
See, now that's something I thought would come from your youngest
Oh
versus
yeah,
your oldest,
yeah,
because just the way his mind works. But
right.
interesting. It doesn't surprise me just how smart he is and his observation level of things that,
Yeah. So as a
he come
father,
up with that.
how do you answer that?
You're going to college. Time to move on.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I told him. I said, yo, dude, look, if and he has his list, right? I go, if
Hmm.
somebody on your list comes through, dude, you're out. You're
Yeah.
going. We don't turn that down. We take that.
Yeah.
We take that and we go. You know. Now my middle son, who's at the youngest of his grade level, the very youngest of his grade level, if he asked me that, I'd have to go,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You'd go from one of the youngest to potentially
One of the
one of
oldest.
the oldest, and
Yeah.
I can't argue with you. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to put your ass to work while you're at home. You're still gonna be
Yeah.
reading, writing, and
You're
arithmetic.
gonna be
You're still
doing
gonna be doing
something.
that. There's not a gap year. You're not going on sabbatical. You know. Well, we had teachers. We had teachers protesting at
Oh,
the
really?
Capitol.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
there were
know that.
teachers from across the state that were
Well, this was
protesting
when
at the
I was
Capitol.
down, I
Yeah,
think,
you were
yonder.
gone.
Yeah.
They were protesting and said, "I can't teach if I saw a lady. I can't teach if I'm dead." She had that on her sign.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
kudos to them for exercising their right to protest. They have that right. That's part of the Constitution. You can do that peacefully. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But from a football standpoint, this podcast has been, every now and again, I said this a couple of years ago. Every now and again, an angel comes into your life somehow, some way. You don't really know. You just needed them, right? That happened to me several years ago with another coach came on the staff. Terribly appreciative to him for what, helping with a certain situation. And this podcast has been one of those little angel godsend things. It's been incredible
It's been fun.
because I want to go out to Ramona's and eat the El Nasty burrito. I'm going to go out to the desert. I want to go see David Wilson down there and, see what he's doing on a Friday night.
Amazing. The people we've met and the people we've had on have just, we would have never met them, regard in any other way, really, with a lot of these people. And it's It's been fun. I can't wait for the next 24 people that we have on. I know we got quite a bit of a list there. We just got to get them
Yeah.
scheduled up, and it's just
Well, they're
amazing.
about to have some free time.
Yeah, I got to
So the
thinking of
thing
that.
out of the box may be we're going to do this, but
Mhm.
we're going to do it in October.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
We're going to do it. We're going to do it then.
it's a possibility. I was thinking when I was riding tonight, because when you're riding, all you're doing is thinking, and
Right.
I'm like, man, that's with how everything's changing, just the amount of people we're going to still be able to get on and continue to do it, weekly probably for the most part, because we thought during the season either we're going to have to backlog a bunch of people
Right.
or we'll do it when we can, or go to the baseball side of things a little more at that point. But
Mm-hmm.
we may be able to just do what we were doing, which is just hodgepodge it a little bit, which is good. So by the way, the
Okay.
Flyers are 3-0.
Get out of here.
They are the number one seed in the East, and people are talking about them as the favorites to win the cup now.
We got that invite.
I know they look good. I watched one of their
We got
games the other night, and I was like, "Gee whiz, he's right. These dudes look good right now." So they've come out of the gate flying. He was right on the money with that. So yeah,
Well, I might have to reach out to Coach Delano there and
I
say, "Hey,
know.
man, don't think I don't forget. I
Yeah,
forgot that invite."
don't forget, we'll be up there here in about
Yeah,
a month and a half.
we'll be knocking on the door. We'll be like,
Exactly
"Who
right.
the heck are these two
Like,
dudes?"
just go get him. I got the picture right here. It'll be all right. Just let us in the house. Frank will
If
get us
any,
in. I
he
trust
will
Frank.
get us in. If anybody wants a little chuckle, go on to Instagram or pull up social media some way and check out what Nelson Cruz is wearing for batting practice
I can
because
only imagine.
it is absolutely hysterical. Um, Jr. Thank you for doing all the technical stuff with this.
Sure.
Uh, I got this old ass headset on, works pretty well, but thank you for doing all this technical stuff with this, getting it set up. What is it? It's iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeart,
Oh man, we're on about everything.
Spotify.
Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, got our own YouTube channel. I mean, for crying out loud. So it's been good. I've enjoyed it. I never thought we'd still be doing it here August the 9th. I thought maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but we've
There's
got
gonna
some very
we're
loyal listeners.
we do. We're
It's
gonna
pretty
get a
cool.
sponsor. We're gonna get a sponsor at some point. And if you're out there listening and you know somebody, dude, we ain't trying to get rich. We're just trying to pay the bill for what we've already
Yes.
done. That's all we're trying to do.
I'll take you on a bike ride.
There you go. A bike ride with JR. That
Yeah,
would be nice.
we'll do
Well,
it.
they can't. You're not gonna let them ride Connie's bike, right?
No, nobody's touching that bike. But
Yeah.
I got another bike you can get on as long as you're not over 6 foot tall. And I promise I won't put you in a hurt locker. So we'll just take a nice smooth ride. Take a nice smooth ride. So
Well, episode 25 has been a fun one. Some T-shirts are going to go in the mail here soon for some of our previous guests. Those are sweet shirts, JR. I don't know if we should put them online and let people buy them.
I tell you what we
Uh,
ought to do is just if anybody's interested in a shirt, because setting up this online store is a little bit, it takes a hot minute. But if anybody is interested in a shirt, just get a hold of us. You got us on Twitter. Shoot
Fair
us an
enough.
email, breakdownsportsllc@gmail.com, and we'll make them available to where you can purchase them. So
There you go. We'll do that. Cheap. I mean,
yeah,
they're not.
we ain't
This
making
isn't.
money.
No, we're not making money. We're just getting it out there. Well, episode 25. No football talk. I still don't think that you should ever run the bubble, but I think
We'll
there's a
get
better
to
way.
it.
I think there's a better way to do it, but we're not going to give it up. It's been amazing. Really has. It's been incredible. It's been relaxing. It's been a way, they say meditation is good for everybody. It's a little bit of meditation. It's been some laughs. I don't know who the next one's going to schedule up. We have the list. We have people called out and we're working on them. So we will see where it goes. But until next time, I'm Duke Keith Simmons. This has been episode number 25.
25.
Of Process Preparation and Performance. Go check us out on one of those venues, hit our YouTube page. Argue with us on Twitter. It's okay. I don't really care.
Ride
You
your
can
bike.
argue. Yeah, ride your bike. Look
Get
at JR
outside.
shirt.
Ride your
Ride your
bike.
bike. Be active, people. Take it easy. Have a good night. God bless.